don't care what you're doing to me. I've been down in the...
Have you ever caught yourself smiling, laughing after losing someone you love, and then you immediately felt guilty for it? Like, why am I happy when they're gone? If that's you, I need you to hear this because you're not alone. And there's nothing wrong with you. Welcome to Grieve Grow Glow, a space for women who are learning how to heal, to grow, and still find their light after loss. Today we're talking about something that isn't talked about enough. The guilt of being happy and why it's so hard to remember the good times. I remember when I was going through my journey of grief, when I lost my fiance unexpectedly, I always felt like if I'm smiling or if I'm happy that I'm being disloyal to my partner, right? That I'm not supposed to feel happy. I could be having a moment where I am thinking of all the things that we went through, all the good times, and immediately start to withdraw and be like, Sherry, you just lost your fiance. How are you sitting here being happy, right? But there's nothing wrong with remembering the good times. There's nothing wrong with being happy. You are not disrespecting your partner for living life. Your partner would want you to move on, to live your life and to be happy. They understand that you are in a space where you're trying to figure it out. I mean, if you've lost someone unexpectedly, there is no blueprint to how you're supposed to act and behave. Honoring your partner and reliving the good times is a good thing, right? You are healing, you are trying to navigate this new norm and just trying to understand all the emotions that you are feeling and gonna feel. Give yourself grace in this moment during this time. I beat myself up for the longest. I felt like I'm supposed to be sad. I'm not supposed to be happy, right? Because I just lost the love of my life. How can I sit around being happy? But one thing that I've learned in my journey that I want to encourage anyone that is in the early stages of grief and they're feeling guilty for how they're feeling. Feel what you feel, but you got to continue living your life. Your partner would not want you to be stuck, okay? They would not want you to just always be sad. I found it helpful sometimes when I'm in a space and I'm remembering Matthew or a song came on that reminded me of Matthew, to talk to him. Let me tell you how healing that felt for me, how my heart smiled just remembering all the good things and when a song came on where I can sit there and talk to him. And I did that for a very long time. Even to this day, even though I'm in the acceptance stage and I have went through my journey of grief, of grieving, right? For 14 years before I actually was able to move past it and get into the acceptance stage. Sometimes now hearing the song, it's like I light up because those were the good days that I don't ever want to forget. I had a love and I had someone that loved me more than anything. And today it reminds me that I will have that again one day and not to be closed off on love. Now, it took me 14 years, and I'm hoping that that's not your journey, because I feel if I would have allowed myself to be more open and expressing my feelings and getting group therapy earlier, I would have been past, I wouldn't have sat in my grief for as long as I did. So I'm encouraging anyone that is in the beginning stages to get therapy as soon as you can. It is so therapeutic. And you have to embrace the days when you feel like laughing, you feel like having a good time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty for living life. Your partner will want you to move on and enjoy yourself. And just because you're happy doesn't mean that the love that you felt for that person is any less. Living life is when you're going through the grief stage and being able to be in a position where you're happy and smiling and wanting to do things, it's the growth. You're growing through the process because there are going to be peaks and valleys. Trust me when I tell you. But take every day, day by day, and understand and try to understand what you're going through. Journal. Put your feelings down on paper. You know, the things that you're feeling that you don't understand, talk to your therapist about so they can actually break it down and allow you to understand the stages that you're going to go through, because you're going to go through them more than once. But every time you go through a stage, you're getting that much closer to healing, because grief is not something that happens where you're healed overnight. Everybody's story is different. But what I will say to you is trust the process. Understand yourself. Understand what you're going through. And don't stay stuck. Okay? This message, I hope, reaches anyone that is feeling guilty of being happy and not sad during the grieving stage. You are allowed to be happy. It doesn't diminish how you felt for your partner. Okay? If you know of anyone that really needs to hear this message, please share this video to them. My goal today is to help, even if it's just one person. All the things that I went through just to help somebody not be where I was. Because let me tell you, it was a lonely journey. It was a painful journey. But as I look back over my journey and I look at people that are actually going through it now, I'm like, if I can just help them through one event, one thing, I've done what I needed to do. I can't sit here and see other people going through grief and not offer the support that I wish that I had. And the biggest support that I could be to you is to encourage you to get therapy. That's first and foremost. I was speaking to someone this week actually, and she didn't know that I had lost my fiance. So I had briefly told her what happened, and she said, you don't look like you've lost someone. She's like, I am so sorry. She says, but one thing that I noticed, everything that you're telling me you're doing, from the dancing on TikTok, from, doing your makeup and your skincare, and then you have your grief podcast. She said, you have identified ways to help you cope. And I am so grateful that you have done that, because a lot of people have not had that, or haven't identified what helps them heal, right? And I told her, I said, it took me a while. I said, God set me down. He isolated me for a year. And I never thought that I would be on YouTube speaking, dancing, and doing all of the things. But this is something he gave me. And once I realized that I'm in a space of happiness, that this heals me when I'm feeling sad or angry or frustrated, this is what I go to feel comfort. And so I say to you, you have to find something that will bring you joy through this hard time. It will definitely make the journey a little lighter. And I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It's tough. But I know that you'll get through it. I really do. And if nobody have told you, I'm proud of you for just showing up and going through this process. Even if you don't have all the answers, you are wanting to show up and be able to get through this process, because you love someone that was dear to your heart, and I totally understand that. So I hope this message was helpful. It's never easy to talk about grief. It really isn't. And I didn't want this to be heavy, but I want this to reach who it needs to reach, and for them to understand, sis, you will get through this. I promise you, you'll get through this. All right? So welcome back to my family. Thank you for rocking with your girl, every week. And for those that have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We have fun over here. We actually do. Even though this is a heavy topic, I try to get through this with sensitivity, right? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be part of the family. And I want to say, have a great week. All right? And until next time, it's your girl, Sherry. Deuces.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you